Hello there. I just wanted to make another one of my memes to Mumbles video rants here, whatever, where I just do this little intro, give you a brief rundown what we're going to talk about, and go for 20 minutes with a slideshow, and come back with a conclusion. Kind of like an essay, but not. And it's video. But, and there's no writing involved, actually, but whatever. Anyway, so I was outside having a smoke, just woke up, having a coffee, and, my one neighbor starts talking. We start talking about the corona, and I says, "Are you enjoying the apocalypse?" Just joking around, you know. And he's like, "What apocalypse?" And it's to the point of like, you know, all these people losing their mind over this fear porn. It's like, but some of us, life hasn't changed. My life hasn't changed pretty much at all, except for the comic book store was forced to close. But so I'm like, yeah, well, it's gonna get a little crazy. What's coming next with the forced? I'm like, I never really had any interest in leaving Canada, so I guess that doesn't affect me either, because if you don't take their, they'll restrict your travel, right? And he's like, well, yeah, but they can't force you to take anything. I'm like, exactly. It'll be a catch-22 situation. They'll give you a bait and hook, carrot and the donkey, kind of like the bait and switch kind of trick or trap. They'll make you choose between, you know, freedom and whatever. At that point, it's like, you might as well just shoot me, because I'm not taking any of your eugenics. So I was like, I says to the guy at that point, and this is where the conversation took a turn, and I says to the guy at that point, yeah, the mark of the beast is something they can't make you take it. You have to choose it. And he's this older dude, probably a staunch atheist, one of those, you know, stick-up, thinks he's smarter than everybody type dudes. And I pray God forgive me for ever acting like that when I was a kid. I used to treat Christians and religious people poorly and mock everybody that I didn't understand or whatever. But yeah, onwards with my memes to Mumbles here. And firstly, as I was saying, you know, I pray God forgive me that I ever treated anyone poorly for their religious choices or whatever. When I was younger, before I became a Christian, I was a nasty little savage for a while there when I was younger. But considering what happened to me as a kid, I'm just thankful to have gotten out of it. As far as this topic of religion in general, I just don't understand how people can buy into the godless evolution. No proof for Big Bang, no proof for evolution. Evolution is a religion by definition. And here these people are making fun of Christians. That's so paradoxical it makes my head spin. Or like this poem I wrote a while back. Filling our minds with evolutionary pride, all to make us feel godless inside, but then when our hearts are so hungry, we will be willing to eat all sorts of lies. And so yeah, like with my neighbor outside. He got in my face, he said I had no grasp on reality, which is hilarious because that's my job, is measuring reality. And I said to him, no, there's proof. You just got to be able to look at it, so maybe you shouldn't mock what you don't understand. And then he basically just regurgitated what he said before, like a broken clock or a broken record. And, you know, like these 3 proofs, my meme here that I got on the screen, I just cited one to him. I said, why are all these world leaders 33rd level Luciferians like my grandpa? You think they do that for fun? Just for fun? For kicks? And he didn't have an answer. He just said, I had no grasp on reality. And it's like, these people, when you listen to them, they do sound like broken records, like a record skipping, because they won't listen to what you have to say. They don't want to. The truth of the matter is some people can't receive this information. You know, I became a Christian, like I said, because of Grandpa. What would you have done if you had found out your grandpa was basically a Sith Lord, James Bond villain, part of the OSS and one below general, you know, helped all the Nazis come over, and after World War II with Operation Paperclip? What would you do, huh? Would you want to become that, or would you want to run away from that? Or even my dad. He was just a peon, a nobody. He was a low-level, street-level guy who got clipped over $3,000 worth of dope. You know, that's where the name Marimor the Red comes from. You know, like Saruman the White, Gandalf the Grey, Radagast the Brown, Marimor the Red, Vistal the Blue. I just named it after him because I made this YouTube channel before I became a Christian in 2011. However, when people mock me about it, it's like, considering my history and the proofs I can bring to the table or whatever, if you still want to mock me after that, then in my opinion, that person's a write-off. Because, like, I'm an OG truther. I've been awake since the 90s. You know, I'm pushing 50. I'm sure there's people who are older than me that have been awake longer than me. But as far as like straight up hardcore truther movement, when we're talking about these kind of topics, most people run away like scared little chickens in the rain because they can't handle it. It slaps their fear response center and their pain response center right in the face because they have to change their worldview if any of this is true, and most people can't do that. So it comes down to fear and pain. And then that fear and pain transforms into anger that projects or negatively transfers back towards the person giving the information. And so the way I see it, all my life people have been calling me a stupid retard, but yet all my life I've been correct, predicting these things, and yet almost no one listens to me in my personal life. Most people just tell me to shut up. They don't want to hear about any more conspiracy theory stuff. Well, maybe things wouldn't be so bad if everybody just listened to me.
What do I have to do to make people listen to me?
But I mean, whatever. No truth for them, right? And obviously, at this rate, with how shadow banned my YouTube page is, I was just talking about this the other night, how my YouTube channel was doing great up until 2016 and the Las Vegas thing. And then I started getting videos, 250,000 views in a week, 3 or 4 of them. Boom, I started blowing up. My subs went from like a few thousand to 7,000. And all because of those false French fry, that Las Vegas staged event thing, which later was exposed. And all those videos are still up on my BitChute and my BitTube and my other pages. But at that point, YouTube started censoring everything. And this evil, vile woman, if she's even a human, that is the CEO of YouTube, doubled down, started blocking everybody's videos, started doing even more damage. And that also goes for Fedbook too. I mean, I think I went to that stupid 30-day Facebook jail like 8 times. Apparently they just gave up on it. I don't see it happening very often anymore. And so I've said it before and I'll say it again. I honestly don't think Susan Wojcicki, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, or any of these humps have any clue how weak, absolutely weak they look, trying to censor the truth. Like, show your bellies much. These people are not strong people, like Bill Gates as well. These people, they only have power because of their allegiance to these secret societies. Alone, standing there, they're weaklings, and that's why they do this, because they have no backbone, they have no strength. That goes for all the mainstream media in general. But like this meme says right here, the mainstream media in general, forget about it. I mean, it's all fake news, buddy. These corporations are all owned by the synagogue of Satan. The media is owned by 5 companies. And you don't think they have some reason to be a little slanted when it comes to bias and controlling the truth? And even at that, you can look into something called Operation Mockingbird. Basically putting this division of the CIA in there to approve scripts, to put subliminals, to plant these ideas, to program people, whatever, using television. And even as quoted by former director of the CIA, William J. Casey, we'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything that the American public believes is false. Okay, so there's clearly an agenda. But you tell that to a blue pill and they'll just call you a stupid conspiracy theorist. You know, like this meme says it all right here. The hardest part of being aware that you're living in a decaying society is knowing that no matter how much information you share with your friends about the corrupt government, the dissemination of our liberties and our environment, 97% won't care until it's too late. And only then will they wonder how we allowed this all to happen. It's like, what do you mean we, white man? Don't lump me in with you. Because all media is manufactured. Notice this corona thing? Like, look at that. Like, this whole thing, the plan... Like, their whole plan is to put fear in your head. They want you in a perpetual state of fear and panic. Like, that's nuts. Clearly, they planned that. Obviously, the cameraman isn't taking this corona too seriously, but the reporter is? That's nuts. Or even go back a little bit to Anderson Cooper with that whole flood thing. Like, he found the deepest spot to stand in? Fake news. This is the definition of fake news. Or even the whole Russian collusion thing? Give me a break. Like years and years and years of the TV saying Russian collusion, Russian collusion. It's like there was no Russian collusion. And did the media ever make a public apology? Nah, they don't care because it's a weapon. Go to school, get a job, go to work, get married, have some kids, pay your taxes, pay your bills, watch TV, listen to the news, obey the law, obey the television, obey the authority figures, obey the government, and now repeat after me, you are free. No, it's all fake news. And I just pray for people to wake up. Even if 97% of the people are just too lost in plot to even get a clue, I still pray for them because, I mean, nobody is beyond salvation. And I saw this meme. I thought this was pretty funny. You know, I'm just sick of the government spying on all our posts but not liking or sharing them. It's like, at least give my post a like, you rube. But even like the word government, it's from the Latin, gubernare, to control. The Latin noun means mind. So it's basically governing your mentality. Your mentality. Governing it. Government. The etymology, the origin of the word, the suffix, ment, is often debated, yet it is overwhelmingly clear that those who created the English language deliberately chose the Latin word mens for mind, to create a state of, or the condition of, in direct keeping with the first principle of natural law, the principle of mentalism, which demonstrates that in order for any particular thing, event, circumstance, state, or condition to exist as it currently does in our manifested reality, the plane of effects, or this plane, earth plane, it first must have existed in the mind, the plane of causality. And that's also getting into metaphysics, but that's a whole other story, morning glory. All I know is that the government isn't really that essential, it sounds to me, especially with this whole corona. I mean, come on, people. Something fishy is happening, and what spooks me is the people who can't figure it out. Because I figured it out like years ago. Before this even happened, I knew it was coming. And now they're closing down all these non-essential businesses, trying to collapse the economy. Well, why is the government still open? Because we've established that it's not really needed. Huh? We can govern our own mentality. Thanks, guys. I don't know about you, but is anyone else around here absolutely sick of seeing people willing to trade freedom for safety? No. I can protect myself, thanks. I've done it before. I've had men try to kill me before, and I'm still here. But yet, the blue pills, the normies, they are willing to do this? No, not on my watch. Or this, I noticed. This brainwashed little girl, MK Ultra shill, descended from Adam Weishaupt. I'm not sure if it's on her mother's side or her dad's side, but a child being invited onto a panel or even being considered as an expert of anything. What? Shillery much? How come? Oh, wait, I just answered my own question and shake my head. Like, Illuminati royalty much? She looks crazy. I don't know. I heard she's like got Asperger's or autism or something, but she's grossly unqualified to be an expert on anything other than teenage angst and woes. But whatever. I even heard that Obama was trying to get out of here faster than he could say his name. Whatever that is. Whatever his real name is. It's like, 1 ticket to Kenya, please. And just one. And hurry. You know, obviously he left Michael behind. So yeah, I guess I'm just sitting here watching most of the world go full retard. I guess it is what it is, right? This is all some kind of psychological operation. And the social engineers are having a ball. They're enjoying this. They're probably enthusiastic at how the returns are coming back. But all this talk of current events and all this nonsense aside, how about we go back full circle to the beginning, talking about proofs for the Bible and this nonsense evolution and how it started. I guess a good citation would be the Ben Stein film Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed, where he goes around interviewing every professor who has points for creationism and how they've been blacklisted and some of them straight up fired from the teaching community, and the straight up collusion and cover up over it. Or even this short video where this one fellow walks around a university putting it to people to prove evolution, and they can't because there's no macro evolution. There's microevolution. Things change over time, but there's no proof that any species ever creates something that isn't its species. It's nonsense. Proof. And also, like I said before, Gonzo Shamira, Face Like the Sun, has a lot of great videos, Age of Deceit, but also Dr. Chuck Missler, his research into everything from the Torah codes and the Nephilim, the Gibborim, the giants of old, proofs for the Bible, but people just don't want to look. So, I mean, if you honestly think you fell out of a monkey's butt and landed on a ball spinning at ridiculous speeds, good luck with that. But I'm not going to buy into it. And if you insult me on the street about it, I will lecture you. So there's that. So yeah, that being said, again, because apparently I have to reiterate this, for all the people living in denial, there are proofs for the Bible. There's proof for the Bible. Like, you go through all of Dr. Chuck Missler's work, just to start. But like I said in the slideshow, why are all these world leaders 33rd level Freemason Luciferians like my grandpa? You think they just do that just for no friggin' reason? Come on, think, people. And so if the devil is real and these people are worshiping him, then that means God's real. And you got to choose a side, because the devil owns the fence. And homie, don't play that. I'm not... No. The minute I found out about Grandpa, that's when I became a Christian, pretty much. Well, in 2013, after I pieced it all together, because it's like, choose? Like, you want to do that? I don't want to be like my grandpa. Like, why would anyone willingly do that? It doesn't make any sense. So, if people want to mock me for being a Christian, I really don't care. Bible says to have to have an answer for every scoffer. So, that's pretty much what I said to the guy, and he just in one ear and out the other. So, some people, I don't know. Maybe there's, it's like the parable Jesus uses, throwing seeds on the rough ground with little dirt. Maybe a seed might take plant, but if you're throwing seed onto the stony ground, it's not going to take root. You have to find fertile ground. And so, at that, I mean, be in the world, but not of it, right? So, yeah. I guess I'll just say, peace out, baby.